All right, and hello, Twitch. Thank you guys for joining us today. We're going to be doing our second episode of Turmoil in Taldorei. As always, everybody, welcome to my table, and I hope that we'll be able to put on a good show for you guys like we did last time. And every episode, we're hoping to improve and get better. I do want to go over, until we get something more solid, I do want to go over our disclaimers real quick. I will then do a recap of what happened last session, and then we're going to do character introductions one more time. So I know that some folks were telling me that some of the introductions got dropped the last time, so we'll just kind of do a quick rehash of that, and then we'll dive right in. So first, I want to go over the quick disclaimer. I am using artwork that is available for view on the internet. If you are or know the artists and they either wish us to source them or have an issue with the artwork, please have them reach out so the art can either be properly sourced or removed. And then secondly, this game takes place in Taldorei and Wildmount, property owned by Critical Role. We are not affiliated with the Critical Role team, and the game you're about to witness is non-canonical to their game. This simply is our game set within their world using their published materials. So,
please don't sue us.
Correct.
Woo-woo.
All right, so a quick recap last session. The party had gotten themselves into quite a big fight. There was a large selection of gnolls that they had gotten, or not gnolls, bugbear rather, that they had gotten into a brawl down here. There was a flame skull, as well too as the main wizard that has been kind of their machinations and villain for the past several sessions. Large fight ensued. We had a couple really close calls with some things. Frustrations were had, but eventually the party did triumph by clearing out both the bugbear as well too as the wizard, the black spider, attacking on two different fronts. We had ended last session with Leopard, our warlock, having completed the request from his patron Kot to slay Black Spider, and he had done so in absolute fey fashion of simply running the sword through his neck as he sat there breathing his last couple breaths as the vines and ivy of the enchanted blade kind of wrapped him and elevated him in this almost living casket of thorns. As to the party and their introductions, quick descriptions of everybody. I'll kind of go down the list of the people that I see in order. So we'll start with Day, if you don't mind doing the description of the wall. Day, you're muted.
Apologies for that. I'm Earday. I'm playing the Wall of Zariel. He is a very tall, red-skinned tiefling. He has a couple horns with long brown hair. He's wearing a full plate armor. He carries a tower shield, and he is very stoic, and I described him last time as a protector. He will protect anybody who he feels is weaker than him, and he believes that's everyone. So that's the wall.
All right, thank you. Leopard.
Hi, go by Mr. Sokar. I play Leopard, the Archfey warlock, who is an elf. And like mentioned, he serves the patron Kot and has a bit of a secretive past. He's also a bit of a frail little person.
small elfling.
Yep.
All right, Zeno.
What's up, everybody? I think dogs should vote.
Accurate statement.
Also, Zeno's a half-elf warlock of the, I guess, patron of Martell. They are a detective. They investigate murders and the paranormal and the macabre. And currently they are also someone trying to figure out their own magical origins, as they seem to have an affinity for all magic.
Excellent. Zerelda, if you don't mind, please.
Hi, everybody. I'm Taylor. I play Zerelda in this campaign. Zerelda is a halfling druid. She's quite tall for her people, 4'3". Thank you very much. Uh, she has yellow and amber eyes, white dreadlocks, and a ponytail, and very tan skin.
Thank you.
That's about it for me.
Thank you. Zero.
Hello, I'm Talia. I play Zero. She is a pale-skinned changeling, normally in tiefling form, which is also pale skin, pale horns. She wears a captain's jacket, and she is currently a rogue and a cleric of the Raven Queen. You will see her mostly with her emotional support familiar, which is a crow, or you won't see her because she'll be dashing around.
All right. And then lastly, we have Zoe.
Hi, so I'm Zoe Bird playing Zoe the Tabaxi, who's about 5'3", has a very long tail, orange fur all over, and she has also a companion named Sergeant Scruffles, and he's our little wolf, and her attitude is pretty much like laid back, kind of minds her own business, but she also has a smart mouth.
And then what class is Zoe?
Oh, and she is a Ranger Beastmaster.
Excellent. All right. Thank you, guys. All right. So picking up where we had left off, kind of in the heat of battle, we hadn't really taken a look at our surroundings. At this point, I'm going to say the party is kind of all joined back up into the area here. You guys can, if you're able to, you can move your tokens into that area. So the room that you guys are in where you had slain the black spider, you see a row of 6 cracked marble pillars that lined the walls along this hall. At the northern end stands a 9-foot-tall statue of a dwarf seated on a throne. A mighty stone warhammer laid flat across his lap. Large emerald eyes gleam at the party from the statue's face. Scattered about this room, you do see small tables of research notes and information seemingly newly placed from whenever you had gotten the information from Redoran and the druid who had kind of tracked this entity down for you. They had just recently moved into these mines after finally finding it from the missing dwarf conjurer. Laying in front of you, like I said, is the black spider, and after probably about a minute, the enchantment from the vines from Leopard's sword does eventually start to fade as they slowly start to curl and unwrap and sink back into the stone as he lays flat against it.
I would like to detect magic.
Okay. Are you using the your last spell slot for that? Or are you doing that as a ritual cast?
I do it as my at will ability.
Oh, that's right. I forgot you can do that at will.
Yeah.
So yes, the detect magic does go off. Predominantly, it will go off on him. So the staff that he was carrying, the like black iron staff, glows in. With the detect magic, you're able to determine the type of magic that it is. It gives off an aura of conjuration. He has a black cloak that has a spider's brooch on it, kind of a spider's web design that goes across the one shoulder and down across the back. And while that's silver, the rest of the cloak is kind of this really silky black. That glows with an aura of abjuration. Tucked into his belt, you do see a metal wand. The wand itself looks to be made out of like some type of brass material. It's definitely hammered and molded. The handle being that of just a small dwarf's face. And then lastly, you see what looks to be a potion bottle that is glowing off on his side as well. You, off of his person on the other side of his belt, his spellbook is glowing as well. However, you do notice a specific point in that with the detect magic that the cover of it is showing abjuration amongst the general colors that you would expect to see from a spellbook. There is a specific point on the cover that is showing abjuration.
Interesting. I would definitely want to take the book and I guess I'll take the wand and potion and pass the ladder to Zerelda, who has our bag of holding.
Okay. So you guys
Um,
want to take the time to run through with the identify, since it seems you guys have kind of hit like a calm moment.
I mean,
Oh.
I would appreciate it if Leopard didn't just take everything and then we find out later what it is.
I took one thing. I passed the rest to Zerelda to bag for later investigation.
Anyway,
Was there anything else in the room you said that showed off signs of magic?
Nothing else that showed off signs of magic.
Okay. So, I believe we still have a dwarf to find.
You do. Okay. Is anybody else searching the body? Because you only asked about the actual detect magic and what was showing magical. Is
Right.
you guys doing anything else?
check his
I'm gonna-
pockets.
You're muted, Wall.
I'll just leave myself unmuted. I'll
Yeah.
search the body.
Okay.
If it's cool, I'm gonna drink my healing potion.
You don't need to do that.
Yeah, we may want to just take a rest.
That's fine.
Okay. So I'll go down the list of the different things. So first, he has 2 rings on him that are made of platinum. Each of the rings is worth 100 gold pieces. The rings themselves don't seem to be his style, like you would expect from like an elf of some sort. Both the rings are very like large and chunky, like you would expect from like a dwarf. He has, of course, the spider's mask that I described before. It has kind of the motif and the mandibles of a spider, open eyes for, of course, him to be able to see. then a series of pearls that run up the top to give that appearance of 8 eyes. He does have a component pouch on him that's just going to have general spell components in it, nothing that's expensive. And then the other gear that I had mentioned before that was magical. You guys doing any other searching around the room, or are we taking a rest?
I vote for a rest.
Yep, I agree.
Okay, are we doing a short rest or a long rest?
I would say a short rest just because we can't be certain that there isn't anything left in the area.
Okay.
I think I would agree with that.
Okay. All right. Everybody go ahead and take your short rests. Heal up any hit dice that you want to use to be able to do that.
If no one, wait, never mind. I wasn't there to kill him. That wouldn't make sense then.
Okay. All right. You guys go ahead and
Heal actually to full.
you're at full health again.
Yeah, exactly. The right number on my die.
Nice. Yes, it's one of the perks of
I'm
having
about-
low hit points.
I'm about 11 away from full, but we're okay.
Okay. All right. So you guys take about an hour to kind of calm down, heal up. In that hour of rest, does anybody look over any of that, any of the stuff?
Look over the metal wand.
Okay. Because I know that you have detect or have identify at will, so you could be doing that during the rest.
I don't have that, but I can just look at it.
You do. I gave you an amulet for that, like early in the game, that had identify at will.
I thought I sold that.
I don't remember you doing that.
Okay, well then I have this amulet that I'm gonna totally use right now.
All right, so I'll just go down the list. So first of which is the spider staff. The spider staff. Let me get these stats for that pulled up. I know it's pretty straightforward. All right, so with that, the staff itself is made out of black iron. It is heavy. Now, not that it's going to be any disadvantage of carrying it, just something to keep an eye on. So the staff itself is heavy, the head of which is made of adamantium. Can be wielded as a quarterstaff, does require attunement from either a wizard or a warlock.
I have curiosity, would that be an issue for a druid? Since it's heavy metal.
She can't attune to it anyway. Attunement specifically for it is wizard or warlock. But the staff, if you use it as a melee weapon, does an additional d6 points of poison damage on a hit. Staff also has 10 charges. It can use either a single charge to be able to cast Spider Climb, or 2 charges to cast Web. And then it regains 1d6 plus 4 charges per day. It currently has 8 charges because he did use Web spell off of it during the fight. Some of the other objects he does have, the cloak is a cloak of protection. The wand is a wand of magic missiles. And the potion is an oil of etherealness.
Can you explain what that means?
So, sure. So the oil of etherealness is applied to a person for an
Ooh.
hour after applying it. Now, keep in mind, you cannot end the effect early, but for an hour while
Okay.
you're in this, you are in the ethereal plane. Now, that means
Oh.
you're unable to interact with anything on the prime material plane, though you will still see everything. So, with that, you're able to move through walls. You're able to move through people because you're technically not on the prime material, you're not tangible. You're also, unless somebody
Okay.
can see into the ethereal plane, you're also invisible. However, you cannot attack with it, you cannot interact with objects. So, for all intents and purposes, you're like out of phase. But it's
Mhm.
useful for certain scenarios, primarily useful for travel. That allows you to just kind of walk and ignore walls, ignore people, and just go. And wherever you need to go to, you can then just wait out your time and you're there.
Okay, got it.
Or spying on someone.
Yeah, that's great for spying on people.
While everybody is looking over the items, Zero is going to take out her scroll and create her familiar.
Okay. So you'll be able to have a proper familiar then.
So she'll have 2 crows now. She could put them both in their pocket whenever necessary, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Is that ethical, putting crows in your pocket?
Depends on the
Apparently.
size of the pocket.
And Zerelda will say, I would like to agree with Zeno. I don't think you should be keeping the birds, in your pockets.
No, they have their own pocket. It's a magical pocket. This is Moonin and Hoonin.
Oh, well, that's different.
Moonin gives hugs and Hoonin flies around.
How does a bird give hugs?
I mean,
Moonin flies over and tries to give them a hug.
I don't feel anything.
They land on your shoulder and put wings around your face.
I
so,
don't. Have you all ever experienced a bird before? I'm now curious.
this is quite interesting to watch. A bird attempting to hug.
Oh, it's an attempt, all right.
It also feels nice.
Well, Sergeant Scruffles is superior.
Oh,
He very much is. He's very fuzzy.
It's not fuzz, it's feathers.
I'm not. I'm talking about our wolf.
As someone who is attuned to the forest, I would like to argue that we shouldn't be comparing the animals to each other. It will make them feel bad.
Would you like to hug Moonin?
Yes?
My emotional support Raven goes over and sits on your shoulder.
Oh, hell yeah.
And it sits on your shoulder, kind of like pecks at your ear, just like kind of like little nibbles or like nibbles into your hair a little bit. As it kind of does its best to do, like it's like nuzzling a little bit from the direction that Zero gave it.
I'm so happy.
Would you like to hold him for a while?
Yes, please.
Okay, but if we get into combat, he goes back in the pocket.
That's fair.
Okay.
Wait. I'm sorry. He goes back into your pocket during combat. I thought familiars were supposed to be for combat.
This familiar is not for combat.
Oh, what is he for then?
Cuddles.
Oh, I know that, but besides that, Zero.
And he's a good listener.
Okay, but what is his practical purpose? I'm asking.
He serves butter.
I said practical.
And so is he just an emotional support, and then or is the other Raven going to be for something else, or are they both the same thing?
The other raven delivers spells.
Oh.
Once I can actually take a proper nap.
Okay, so the other raven's the one we really need to be concerned with, as far as its well-being.
Fair.
I'm sorry. I'm thinking practically. If I'm going to risk ourself or the party's health, I want to make sure it's not for the bird that is for hugging.
Practical purpose, I can remake Moonin with no gold piece value. Hunin will cost another scroll.
Well, that's good to know.
Does it answer the question?
I will protect the emotional support ravens.
How
Thanks,
sweet.
Bob.
I will continue to protect the people of our party and Sergeant
Them
Struckers.
So sally forth into battle.
I think the battle's over.
For now.
What are we doing anyway? I feel like
we're in a rest, an hour rest. But if nobody is going over the body and taking stuff, I'm gonna take the rings. And I will take his mask.
Okay.
And those are the non-magic items that would be in the bag of holding regardless. Just want to make sure DM knows I took the mask.
Wall, do you have a crossbow or a bow or, something to hit things that aren't next to you?
I do have a crossbow, a light crossbow.
Okay. I'm gonna grab the wand and I'm gonna just put that in his belt. I think you should probably have this more than any of us.
Is he capable of using it?
Yes.
You put the wand in my belt?
Yes, in your belt.
It's a wand.
I understand, but the rest of us have pretty solid range options. You have a light crossbow. Magic missile's a little bit better than that. Trust me.
Oh yeah, I forgot that it's of magic missile. Okay. Yeah, I'll take it.
I give the wall a nice pat on the shoulder.
Actually, I gotta double check on that. Does that wand require attunement?
I hope not. It's a wand. Got your
That's it?
wands of fireball. You've got your wands of Bigby's hand. You've got your wands of wands.
A wand that produces more wands.
Yes, and then you don't know what kind of wands you're getting. You could get another wand of wands. You could just have an infinite hypothetical chain of wands.
That would be everything.
Wand of Magic Missile does not require attunement.
I
Solid
give
little
the wall
backup
of Zariel another pat on the head, or the pat on the shoulder, excuse me. I do not pat his
So
head.
now the next dark corridor we pass, I will use it.
All right. You guys get everything squared away. The last kind of little point on the rest, Leopard, you had mentioned about taking the spell book. Give me a perception check.
Okay, perception.
And do it with advantage since you had the detect magic up.
Okay. Is a 12.
Okay. The book seems fine. Just let me know whenever you go to open it.
That seems ominous.
I mean, if we're resting, I would have opened it.
All right, excellent. I need to know everybody that would be sitting near him.
I would have probably been watching the door.
And likely I would have been near him. because we went in there together.
And I'm in
Would've
a
probably
corner
been-
with Sergeant Scruffle sleeping.
I probably would have been kind of in the hallway I'm in currently, just kind of peering around.
Okay. And I will say, and then what about you, Zeralda?
I want to see what's in the book.
Okay. So then I will need a dexterity saving throw from Zerelda, Leopard, and Zero. The rest of you guys are going to be just out of range.
Okay.
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 Dexterity. The 15 for me.
I got an 18.
1 second.
Jesus Christ. I got almost max damage on this.
Ah,
I got an 8.
Okay. So I got a 15, an 8, and then what was Leopard's?
18.
Okay. Leopard, you take half damage. Whenever you go to open the book, you all hear the black spider's laughter as next you all suddenly hear a as this burst of cold energy erupts from the cover of the book.
Does this count
Leopard,
as-
you're able to kind of drop it and push out of the way quick enough where Zero and Zerelda, you're not. You guys take 39 points of cold damage. And Leopard, you take half of that.
Would this count as a spell or not?
You wouldn't be able to counterspell this. No, this was Glyph of Wardings. This was already placed.
Okay. Just wanted to double check.
All right, I'm out.
No.
Oh my god.
Half of that, then Leopard would be what, 19?
Oh my god.
I am not good, but I'm okay. So I rush over to Zero and
Okay.
shake her.
As you guys are sitting in here and this happens, it just happens in a flash. And Leopard, I believe you should still be up, correct?
Yeah.
Okay. So everybody just watches this flash of like blue and white as Leopard's arm and clothes really just are completely stiffened and frosted over. Zerelda is hurt and flash burned from the cold. Her hair kind of like almost comically stuck backwards as it's frozen. As Zero just has this look of surprise as she's lays cold on the ground, just curled up, ice covering over her her arms and her armor and face. You are at. I'm assuming that didn't do double your health, correct?
No, I'm down like 5. Half.
Okay, so you're just at 0 then.
Yeah.
All right. Zerelda, you said you were rushing over. Go ahead and do your thing.
Okay. I rush to Zero and try to shake her awake. Is she responsive at all?
She is breathing, but she is unconscious and not stable.
I'll use a
You could tell that just looking over her, it looks like the cold is kind of just seeping in. You're watching the ice kind of still form over her skin and blacken.
So
Would dumping a healing potion down her throat work?
You could certainly try.
we don't. I can just. I walk in with the Donald Glover pizza meme. I kick the book out of Leopard's hands, and I'm just gonna use Cure Wounds on Zero.
I'm gonna dodge that kick. Fuck that.
Yes.
Yeah.
And
Yes.
and while
All right.
Zeno is doing that, I'm gonna send Sergeant, because we abruptly woke up. I'm sending Sergeant Scruffles over there to kind of warm her up a little bit while Zeno's doing what he has to do.
Okay. All right. So Zeno, you walk over, you place, go ahead and roll out the thing for cure wounds.
Zero, you heal 14.
All right. So Zero, you went from kind of resting and talking and relaxing to the sudden flash, and you were out. Just immense cold that you've never experienced, and as things kind of like fade to black, you feel this warmth start from like your shoulder, and you wake up. Take a sharp gasp, and you can still kind of see the air like coalescing outside of her from just the breath. As the cure wounds goes through and starts to kind of melt through the ice, the blackened like frostbitten skin starting to pull back and go back to the regular pale white that she's supposed to be.
Yes, you would have done
I believe
that.
so.
Question, DM: am I proficient in boot?
I'm going to count that as a unarmed attack, so I'm going to assume no.
Okay, well then it's a 19 to kick the book.
If he is doing it as a dodge, that would be at a disadvantage, technically.
I still got a 19.
Well, shit.
Did I
Alright.
kick the book out of his hands?
I'm assuming a 19 would break the armor class Leopard.
Yeah.
Okay. So yeah, as you go to walk over to heal her, he tries to move it out of the way, and then your foot just connects with the book, and it opens up like you would, a heavy bound, like leather book, just kind of opens. The pages flutter and hit the ground and close.
I'm sorry, were you trying to protect the book that almost killed someone?
Yes.
I stab it when it's on the ground with my sword.
Okay then. Poison spray in his face.
That's fine. I don't care. I'm still stabbing the damn thing.
That book gotta go. That's just too dangerous. I mean, clearly something is up with it. Are you gonna try to control the book?
What I was thinking, yeah.
Leopard, when is your interest more important than the life of the people you're traveling with? If you don't have an answer in a couple seconds, then whatever your answer is not good enough. I'm not going to have you risking Zero or anyone's life because you are curious about what a book can do.
I may jump in here. There is before we go into stabbing territory, there is the option of investigating it.
That is true. So who wants to take the chance of investigating this book?
I'm good at investigating, so I will I will give it a quick look I will look at it with that one look of disdain. That is a 16 investigation.
Okay. And I'll actually have you give me an Arcana as well.
Okay. Well, that's not so good, but that was a 13.
Okay.
That'll actually be sufficient for it.
Oh, thank God.
Taking a look at the cover, it does look like a standard spellbook. The Arcana, however, you do notice on the cover kind of a faded out mark that was on it. And being familiar with the occult and some spell work yourself, you recognize that that is the residue of a discharged spell. But from the looks of it, it doesn't look like it would recharge itself. It looks like it was a one-shot thing.
So the book is now, in theory, safe.
I'll pick it up and flip through it. Is there anything of value to be gained from the spell book, or is it just a wizard spell book?
It is a wizard spell book. And as to value that could be gained from it, it is a fairly thick book. Go ahead, since you're doing it quickly, give me another Arcana check.
Oh, it's a 17.
Okay. While some of these spells are going to be outside of your knowledge, you not having proficiency, of course, in spell work, but you do recognize some of the titles, and you do know that some of these spells are pretty high magic. But as you're looking through and you had the better Arcana check the second time, you could identify the spell that was on the cover was a Glyph of Warding.
Would I know as a warlock that if a book like this would be useful to someone like me?
To you, no. Unless you were to start taking levels of wizard.
All right. I'll look at Zero and say, Zero, this is up to you. If you want to, you know what, you can do what you want with this one.
You're lighting up, Talia, but I'm not hearing you. All right.
So anyway, Pot of Greed allows you to draw 2 cards from the top of your deck to your hand.
Trademark. Anyway, thank you guys. Apologize. We had a little bit of a tech thing, but we are back up. Thank you for your patience. So kind of a quick recap because we dropped and were role playing and kind of missed out on part of it. Zeno looked through the book, had determined that it is just a regular spell book, though it does have some pretty higher tier spells in it. And there was a discussion on whether to sell it or what to do with it, and they decided they would cross that bridge at another time.
Oh, we're selling it. I mean, there's no mistake. We're selling the damn thing. I don't see any wizards here, so I think we're selling it.
Money, money, money.
I'm sorry, what was that, Leopold?
I said it's more useful than you.
Oh, aren't you cute? I use Pulse Wave on the book.
Counterspell.
Oh my god.
Oh, that's fine then. I'll just stab the damn thing. I have a sword.
Cast Calm Emotions on Zeno.
You can't just cast multiple things on me, my dear.
I mean, if we're going to these extremes here, so let's above table this real quick.
All right.
if we want to role play that out, we can, and then the party can deal with breaking them up, or we can move past it as of right now and then deal with it later. I'll leave it up to you guys. I don't mind combat in regards to role playing, but
Well, we can wait. That's fine. I'm in no rush.
Okay, so let's essentially pick that part up as the you guys had the conversation. Rest is over. We're moving forward.
Yeah, let's save our hit points for monsters.
Now, since several of you are wounded, are we going to just move this into a long rest, or are we going to continue?
I would. I mean, I know. I don't remember if Sergeant Scruffles and I healed, because I know we both took some damage.
I don't believe that you did.
Okay, so I would prefer the long rest, because I know we both took some hits.
Okay.
I would like to at least, if there's anyone who's not beat up, take them with me to make sure that the coast is clear.
I'll go.
Are you
Zero.
all right, Zeralda? You got a little
I,
frosted.
I forgot about that.
I
Oh,
have
it's all
access
right.
to one more hit dice, and I have 14 hit points. But I'm more than happy to. Zero stands up, and she's like, "I will go with you." She may stumble a bit, but she is at your back.
Zero,
Zero,
I
you will
appreciate
get
it.
yourself back down right now. You are
The
not
wolf.
going anywhere.
Well, do you mind coming with me? You're okay, right?
I am always okay. I will come with you.
Wonderful.
Meanwhile, I'm just under half health. Just
You're like
for the
bleeding
record.
from your eyes or something.
To be fair,
not
you
that
didn't
bad.
during the short rest.
No, I didn't feel I needed it because I'm the Wall of Zario.
of
When
course.
I'm at 5 HP, that is when you will hear me call for help.
I'll remember that.
I don't like that. I don't like that.
Remember, always tempt the DM.
As
I
the
will go
wall-
with you, Zeno.
The rest of
Before
you.
the wall leaves, I cast resistance on him. I have to choose a. What's it called? I'm sorry.
Damage type.
Yes, you already resistance to fire, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I'll go with. Fuck, what are we?
Maybe
up
ice.
against?
Seems
Let's
appropriate.
do,
Yeah.
let's do
Ice
poison.
seems appropriate, yeah. Poison.
Okay. All right.
And then
so,
I'll sit down and behave.
Good
all
girl.
right. And then, which direction are you guys going? You heading down this way, or?
You lead
Yeah,
the
I was
way,
thinking
Zeno.
of heading like over here.
Okay, so you guys do have a door here that you haven't investigated.
Oh, I guess we can go through that door first.
Okay.
Are we doing
So-
a long rest while they're doing that, or are they just scoping it and we're waiting?
I think kind of yes. I mean,
Yeah.
they're heading forward, so we'll
So
take that
we're-
part as is.
I would feel like this is like a watch.
So it's
Okay.
okay to mark it or no?
I would say we'll leave that for right now, for the actual marking it as a long rest, and we'll get back to that.
Okay.
Okay. So you head to this door. The room is the door is locked, but it is locked on your side. So it's just a simple bar lock boot slide.
Did any of us take the dwarven lockpick?
Nobody attuned to them, no.
Yeah. I think they're just in the bag.
If you want to retro that, because I was assuming that you were going to be the one that was wearing those.
I mean,
Sure.
we could just use the Wall of Zarya lockpick.
Right, which is pretty much what the dwarven lockpicks are.
I will kick down the door.
All right, cool. Do you unlock it first?
Please don't patronize the Wall of Zariel. He doesn't need to unlock it.
I mean, the bar slide is literally on your side of the door.
Are you pushing on the pull door here?
Kinda, yeah.
Yeah, I will unlock it and I will walk right in.
All right, cool. I mean, by all means, you could have kicked the door in. I'm not stealing your thunder here.
The party is trying to rest. I feel that it would be too loud, and I don't want to disturb them.
Sure. Being quiet is definitely within your jurisdiction. All right, cool.
In my full plate armor, walking around.
All right, so dusty draperies adorn the walls of this room, which contain a bed and a brazier. A badly disheveled dwarf lies bound and unconscious on the floor.
Oh.
Oh. Well, there we go. We found
he was
him.
right here the whole time. Incredible. I'll walk over and try to undo his binds.
Okay, easy enough. Just simply tied up with just regular ropes. You're able to cut it through easy enough. He definitely looks kicked around. He is malnourished and he has had a rough time. But as you kind of roll him over to look at his face, you definitely do recognize him as Gundren. Gundren himself, while in not great shape at the moment, is an older dwarf. Has originally, like all of his brothers, had that almost fiery red hair for the beard and everything like that. For him, he definitely had streaks of silver run through it, kind of showing his age. The beard and the hair are definitely a lot longer and scragglier than you remember, since it's been a couple of weeks since you've seen him.
Is he breathing?
He is. He is just unconscious.
Is
Alright.
Zenith the only one who would have recognized him?
I would not have,
Yeah.
and nobody else is in the room.
Right.
Oh, so we got lucky.
Well,
I will use my other cure wounds on him.
Okay, easy enough. You go and touch him on the shoulder, and that same kind of blue, green, and pink energy that you utilize for a lot of your spells washes over the body as you watch the bruises close up, and he jolts awake and quickly looks around the room, just completely panicked before
It's
he settles.
all right, Gundren. It's Zeno. You're safe.
Oh, lad. Oh, for fuck's sake. I am happy to see you guys. I didn't even know you were coming. Oh,
I'll pull out some rations and give them to him.
oh, you read my mind. He'll go ahead and take those first set of rations he just downs. He eats like somebody who probably has not had food in a couple of days. He just stops for a
Is
second.
there
He's
a chance we could retcon that I'm carrying a bottle of ale?
I'm going to say no in that case. Whatever you have in your inventory is in your inventory.
Okay. I just wanted to give them ale. But...
I understand. That being said, I believe one of you has an alchemy jug that could do that. But
Not in this room, that's for sure.
Not in this room. So he kind of stops, after eating down the first section of ration, stops, looks around again. It's you guys have to be careful. I don't know whenever that damn drow is going to be back. We got to get the hell out of here. And then we need to get people here because he's after the damn Spellforge. We've been trying to delay him for the past couple of weeks.
I'll pull out the
Well,
mask. This drow?
Lad, I don't know who you are, but you are in fact one of my favorite people at the moment. Please tell me that he suffered.
I wasn't there.
I put holes in him. Does that count?
That in fact counts. All right. So first things first, and he kind of leans and struggles. You can tell it's been a little bit since he's probably been on his feet, or at least unbound.
I'm supporting him to a sitting position, probably against like the wall of the room, not the wall of Zariel.
Okay. And after kind of a moment of getting like onto his legs, he looks at you and kind of waves you off a little bit. I'm fine. All right. So that wee prick is dead. What about like the goblins and the other shite that's been working with him?
They're dead too.
All right. Did you get the drow lass?
No, Zariel. Did we get a drow lass?
Yeah, the wizard was the drow.
No, lass, a lady.
Oh, last. I thought it was last. No, there was no female drow here.
All right. He sends her out sometimes. You guys have to kind of be careful. She's a real sneaky one. He's the one he never called her by an actual name. He just called her the Fang.
These people really like their spider names and theming, didn't they?
Hearing this, I will actually walk back to the other end of the room, the other door, and look down the hallway. Since Zeno has this side covered,
Okay.
I'm gonna go back through the other room and just
Like-
make sure that they're.
Like down past the double doors.
Yes. Let me move myself.
Okay. Oh, yeah, you take a quick look. You're not seeing anybody there. Like everything seems to be as it was when you left it. And Gundren knows. I don't know how long ago she left. I don't really see her too much. She's gonna have left me a couple of nasty scars, that one. Just keep an eye out for her, because she kind of comes out of nowhere.
Is she more dangerous than the wizard?
And she's probably just as dangerous, just in a different way. In his
Oh,
case, he was all spells and blasty and all that magic jargon that I didn't understand. But her, she was stealth and violence. That I understand.
Oh, we understand that one perfectly good as well, Gundren. Don't worry about it.
Because, have you freed the Spellforge yet?
I don't think we knew about that. We were here for you.
You above table. You are aware of the Spellforge.
Are we?
Yes.
Oh.
We did find out that is what the Black Spider was heading here for, and part of the history of this place is that there is a magical forge used to make magic items here.
Well, suddenly the memory of this magical forge that's used to make magical items comes to me, and I say, no, we haven't secured it yet, but I think you were a little bit up on the higher priority.
But that I appreciate. Trust me, I'm not batting an eye at that one, and I thank you for waking me up, healing my wounds, and killing that prick. But what I will suggest, because I am not in fighting spirits at the moment, you leave me some food, preferably an axe, and maybe something to drink, and then you lock that door behind you, and then you come get me whenever you're done, because I'll be happy to wobble my stubby legs out of this place at the moment and get healed up before we come back and reevaluate. That bastard ended up killing my brother, And I'm pretty much the only one that's going to be running this place until I get some people here.
So you want us to lock you in here? So couldn't we? That doesn't, Conjure, that doesn't make much sense.
I'm saying that I don't want to be walking with you in case there's anything else that's out here. I'm not in fighting capability.
I
Unless you-
understand that, but why would we lock you in here? Then you can't leave.
Well, you come back and get me. I just don't want anything coming in here while I'm in here.
I understand that, Gundren. It locks from the outside.
Do your finger waving thing that I know you did.
That's not how magic works, Gundren.
Look, that's
You
as far as
silly little man.
Look, all I know is you say words that make no sense, you wig your fingers, and things happen. Make the magic happen.
I'm smiling the whole time I'm saying this, by the way, because I'm happy that he's alive.
All right. Well,
Oh,
I'll take your suggestion. Whatever you suggest that I do, I'll do it. Unless you want to escort me out of here and then come back, but I would say probably just get the shit over with. But I do have a warning for you. The map had a piece of information that's the elfish one. He had finally figured out, and I was hoping to strap him with it. But whenever my ancestors had written it, there was a section in there about a critter that was protecting Spellforge. Now, I don't know what it's called. All the things said is that it was floating eyes, and it was going to protect the forge with all that it could see. That's the only thing I got, because unfortunately, as you know, dwarves aren't really good at talking straight when they're making riddles.
Mr. DM, would I happen to know what that means?
Give me an either Arcana or History, whatever you got.
That's a 25, baby.
So you know of creatures that are beholderkin. Now, if they have an actual beholder in there, that might be why it has it's a concern. But something that is a little bit strange on it is that this mine has been lost for a couple hundred years. And beholders are living creatures. So there might be something that was protecting at one point. It might be dead, or it might be something else.
Oh gosh, I hope it's not dead. That's worse.
That's the little
Gundren.
thing that that you kind of glean out of that, but there's not a whole lot of information to be said out of his words. And specifically, it was floating eye thing, and it is protecting all that it could see.
Oh, I think I'd be familiar with that. I think I know what that is. It's not great, but I'm gonna kind of shuffle. Gundren, would you like to? Do you want to just stay in here? Do you want to rest with everyone else?
I mean, if you guys are all resting together, I mean, there's more power in groups.
All right, let's get you out of here then. I'm going to show him to everyone else.
All right. And with that, Zeno rejoins the party with Gundren. Now, the only other person in this party that would recognize him is Zoe. Because you had met him before whenever you were still kind of out on your own, and he'd helped you a couple of times in regards to leaving you food and giving you shelter whenever you needed it. And then he, of course, is the one that had did the original hiring to get you guys out this way. The rest of you have not met him since you guys joined after the original party had left.
Oh, Zoe, look who I found.
Wow, a ghost has appeared. Hello.
Oh, I'm no ghost, you wee cat. I'm just a bitter old dwarf that is in need of food and preferably something stiff to drink. Please tell me somebody has any alcohol. I have had the worst time here. This is not a vacation spot I would recommend. The staff here was horrible.
Well, that's good to know. I'll make sure to let everybody know this is not the vacation spot.
Not yet, but it will be under new management once you guys are finished.
While he's speaking, can I look? Like, can I come down the stairs and look over this way to see if I can see a little bit down this?
Sure.
Feel free to do whatever the party wants to do while I'm looking.
And you standard dark vision view is what, 60 feet or 30?
60 probably, I guess. I don't know.
I know 60 is for regular elves. I think half elves are half of that.
I mean, if he needs, he could come back and I could share mine.
Oh, no, it's fine.
I can go within 300 feet.
Can I just shoot Eldritch Blast it down? Oh, no, it's 60 feet.
Okay, it is 60?
feet. Yeah.
I'll take you out to about there.
And is this water running?
Yes, this water is running. So it's running down and then deeper into the underground.
I throw the book in it.
Okay.
And I watch the book go down the stream and I shoot an Eldritch Blast at it for good measure.
Okay. All right, so the book is gone.
I'm going to rejoin the party.
All right, so in regards to that, Gundren kind of groans and grumbles a little bit. Anybody who kind of tries to help him, he waves them away, being stubborn. As he goes, eventually sits down somewhere and continues to eat the rations. I am more than happy to be done and out of this place for now, but I'll have to say, whenever I hired you guys originally, and I know some of you guys are new, I apologize. I also realize I haven't really properly introduced myself. My name's Gundren. Was originally coming down here to check this place out. We had finally found it, me and my brother. And then turns out that these bastards wanted to, find the place for themselves and take it and, killed my brother. But it is now kind of open, and to be completely honest, I was not expecting you guys to be looking for me. And I know I originally hired you for a wee job and paid you, only a couple of gold for it. And I will tell you that you guys are worth far more gold than I am capable of giving you. And I will say that I am eternally in your debts for taking care of this wee problem, as well too as making sure that my old self is staying alive another day.
I'm sorry we didn't find you sooner, Gundren. It's been a bit of a trek to get you.
And also, we've just been encountering pretty much everything under the moon. I'm glad we didn't, walk past the room.
Oh, but we lost Barry, though.
Yeah.
Oh, we lost Barry.
Yeah, we did. We
Yeah.
buried him, though.
Huh.
I like that wee kobold.
Oh,
He had
was
his
fun.
moments of not. To be honest, I know there was some level of truth with him being part of like a much bigger kobold clan. I did look into that at some point after all the times he had said it, but I didn't know exactly where he was going to go with that, or how things went and grew. Sorry to hear that he was lost, though. I'll be sure to pay my respects whenever I'm back in town.
Thank you.
Zero hands him a couple pieces of pocket bacon.
Lass, I don't know if anybody ever told you this, but you're as white as a ghost.
I died a few minutes ago.
Did that normally... are you... That's shade because of that?
No, this is my color.
Oh, okay. I mean, and no offense. I just haven't seen anybody as pale as snow before.
I could look differently. And she goes back to her tiefling, but she'll go like completely purple.
Now that's a trick. See? And she didn't even have to wiggle her fingers.
Oh my goodness, Gundren. We're never going to get off of this, are we?
I think that was an absolutely marvelous trick, and I look forward to seeing you what kinds of shapes you could do. Can you do anything like? Does it have to be creatures or like peoples, or can it be like Can you change into like a wee rock?
I think it has to only be people's.
I mean that makes it useful. Rocks don't talk. I mean they can. I mean,
What rock can talk?
Gundren, how long have you been down here for? I think you're losing it.
no.
Look,
You don't
I
understand.
look at the wall.
You
I look
don't
over at
understand.
the wall and I'm like, can we keep him? Please? I like him.
No, he's our employer.
I don't think that is my decision to make, Zero.
And Zoe, my dear, and Zeno. Yeah, you have to understand. My great uncle, he could talk to rocks, and rocks were able to talk back. He was a little bit not all the way in the heads. He had taken a hit to the brain bucket during a fight, but he was able to speak to rocks and to earth. And he also talked to birds sometimes. He always told me that squirrels were assholes. They
I'm
talk
giving
way
Zoe
too fast.
that look that you give whenever like a boomer's talking about back in my day.
And I'm just looking at Gundren with the look of I'm not sure he's okay. And Zerelda, do you have any insight on what's going on with him right now and him talking about rocks and birds and everything like that?
I mean, I talk to birds. I don't know about rocks.
So maybe you and him can be best friends because it seems like he didn't inherit the bird talking ability.
I got no need to talk to birds.
But you have a need to talk to rocks.
I didn't say I was talking to rocks. I was talking about my great uncle.
Oh,
so Zerelda though is very good at with nature and things like that. I think you guys will connect on a decent level.
I mean, nature is all nice and stuff. I think trees are nice, but that's not really. I'm just telling stories, lads and lasses.
Mm.
Not meaning to be gearing towards one specific thing. I'm just simply telling stories as one old dwarf to the rest of you. But sure, you could go ahead and look at me like I'm this weird old dwarf.
Well, I love you
While
regardless.
Thank you.
while
You're quite nice
Gundren
as well. Sorry, Walt.
is while Gundren is telling stories, I realize that I have a party here that most are pretty wounded, including him. And seeing that we're getting loud and rambunctious, I'm gonna start patrolling around from the south door around into the canyon to the east door and just back and forth
Okay.
while the party is doing that.
So I guess that kind of brings up a good point. Are you guys going to continue your scouting now that you found Gundren, or are you going to take your long rest?
Oh, I'll scout with the wall a little bit more, and then we'll take a break.
Okay.
Yes.
So then we'll head over to you guys doing that. So you originally were heading down this way. Zeno is at the. Oh, hold on. Not let me ping. You're heading down this way before. You're gonna continue heading down that way and towards that tunnel.
If that's what the wall would like to do, and if it's easily accessible. If not, then I mean we'll take the long way.
So on this side, the side that you guys are on in the crevice, there are ropes that go down. Now there is no ropes on the other side, so you would have to either climb or figure out a way to go up. But that is definitely a faster way of going across, down, and up than all the way around.
Well, how good's your climbing? Mine's pretty shit.
Well, that's not a specific ability. Athletics?
Yes.
My athletics is pretty damn good. +7.
If you had to give it a numeric value, hypothetically speaking,
I would say it's about it's adding 7 to my ability.
okay, that's better than my nothing. If I had to say,
A numeric
Of course.
value, yes.
Theoretically.
Theoretically.
All right. So you guys go ahead and climb down. Easy enough. You're not in any type of a rush.
Can we take one of the ropes to just throw it on the other side?
I mean, I'm sure. Do you guys not have rope in your inventory?
Why waste our rope when they have rope here?
I mean, sure.
I'll
Is
toss it.
there? So I'm gonna climb up and then find something to tie it to.
Yes.
Correct. If you have like pythons in your inventory, those are things you would use to be able to like hammer into stone and set rope.
I do not.
What are these ropes attached to?
Pythons.
Well, then we'll just use these ones.
Yeah.
What do you think we're? You just take the rope, not the python. Come now, voice in the sky.
All right, so you guys climb down. With you guys actually being down there, I do want both of you to give me a perception, please.
Okay.
Oh.
I guess that is an entrance to the cave.
I rolled a 24.
Oh, well, that's good. I rolled a 21.
Oh, so you both see it then. So on your way down, there's a little glint that you catch under a boulder on the ground. And as you climb down, assuming that you're investigating, there is a series. Looks like at some point there was a rock slide down here, and you see the remains of a dwarf. At this point, they're skeletal remains, as old as they are. But in the remains itself is a set of leather bracers that have both of them are like leather with a patch of metal across the top of it that do kind of go over the hand a little bit, like where the knuckles would be. Though there's room there for actual fingers. Both of them have like the faces of like dwarven runes and like the kind of like that iconic bearded like dwarven face that you would see etched into things. They seem to be completely undamaged by the rockfall.
Can I use my handy dandy amulet on it?
Yeah. So doing identify on them, they are gauntlets of ogre power.
What does that boost your strength to again?
19.
Hmm.
Does require
Well,
attunement.
hypothetically speaking, if you had to rate your strength, what would it be?
You're asking me?
Yes.
I would say that my strength is about an 18.
Oh, so you don't really benefit from these. Fuck it, I'll put them on.
Okay. All right. So they do require attunement, so you won't be able to use them right now. But you do have access to them after you take a short rest, or if you come back to do the long rest. All right. So climbing up to the other sides with the wall, go ahead and give me an athletics check.
Now, I had already rolled before the perception check because I was preemptive about it. Do you want that roll, or should I roll again?
Since you're preemptive, go ahead and keep that or roll. I'll leave it up to you. Dealer's choice.
Okay, that was a 17.
Okay, not a problem. You scale it up just fine. Takes you a few minutes to go across. Climbing a rock face in full plate is difficult, but you're able to manage it.
Okay.
With that, presumably putting in the pythons, and
Yep.
Zeno, go ahead and give me an athletics check as well.
An 11.
That's perfectly fine. So you're able to climb up to the other side, no problems. All right. As you're starting to walk down, you guys hear the crack of thunder again, kind of the sound that you've been hearing throughout the caves. And as you move into the next area, you are hearing water as well too as smelling it as it opens up into what looks to be almost like a surf. Coming across, there is a thin ledge. There's enough for you guys to walk on without having to worry about things. As you look out to this vast expanse of underground water. It does go out beyond where your dark vision takes it. And you watch just the water kind of sloshes back and forth with the tide itself. And as you guys come here, it slams against the stone face you're on now, and the impact is what has been causing the thunderous boom echoing throughout the caves.
Oh, well, this is fun.
Why are there waves in an underground lake?
Questions?
That's a very good question, Wall.
Water.
Maybe it's a very big lake? Maybe it's like pardon this weird name, maybe it's like a Lake Michigan, a Lake Erie, something like that. I know
It
that's
is
probably
definitely
foreign
eerie.
sounding to you. It's Erie with 2 E's.
All right. So as you guys kind of travel a little bit further down, you do see a connection here, which you'll be able to associate. Oh, I have to get my pointer again. You'll be able to associate with the waterway that was there. This area is definitely water scarred. It looks like there was kind of a runway at some point that went down into this area. And then as you go a little bit further down, you do see a set of natural stairs that are in the rock itself.
Okay. We
up.
continuing forth, Zeno?
Oh, of course we are.
Okay, I'll go up the stairs.
Down.
Down? I'll go.
Yeah.
And
All right.
Mr. DM, it is 9 o'clock. Would you like to take a break or would you want to continue?
Let's go ahead and take a break. Let's say we'll take 10 as we move. We'll move forward after that.
Okay.
All right, guys. Thank you. We will be back here in a few minutes.
know if she's there.
There we go. Wait, no, nobody can hear me.
You guys still seeing the waiting screen or the away screen?
Yeah.
All right, so for the room that you guys are in front of, so after you climb down the stairs, and you could see the connection to the other room. This is where you would encounter the flame skull. You do see a series of doors attached to a room. This is all of the room itself is kind of enmeshed into the stone itself. It just looks like it was carved out and then doors were placed in it. The ground around you is somewhat littered with bones, but looks like there's ancient charring from some spell battle that took place here. In front of you, you do see a series of double doors.
You want to check this and then head back?
Sounds like a plan to me.
All right.
Notice the charred remains. Think there's anything in there?
Oh, there's one way to find out. I'll push the doors
Okay.
open.
All right. So, this large workshop was badly damaged by an ancient spell battle that laid waste into the mines. Work tables taking up 2 corners of the room were scorched, and the plaster has been burned off the masonry walls. In the middle of the room, a stone pedestal holds a small brazier in which an eerie green flame dances and crackles. The brazier and the pedestal appear to have been untouched by the forces that destroyed the area. Behind the brazier of green flame floats a spherical creature, roughly 4 feet in diameter. 4 eye stalks protrude from a central mass, 2 on each side. In the center of a body, a large eye that stares at you.
Close the doors. I don't think we should go in there right now, Wall. I think we should go back.
What did you see?
Nothing good. Let's talk and walk. Let's talk and walk.
Okie dokie.
Mr.
Is that
DM,
okay with DM?
would I have recognized that was not a beholder, but the thing that's name escapes me?
Give me an Arcana.
An 18.
I'm going to say that you do recognize it as a beholder kin. You know this is the thing that Gundren was talking about because it makes sense. One thing that you will know about this thing is, unlike other beholders, this one is called a spectator, and it is an extraplanar creature.
So it's Twitch chat? Did you just give us Twitch chat?
Yeah.
I'm confused.
The silence as the DM processes my insanity.
If you know what a Twitch chat
Oh,
is.
of course. So I assume the wall and I have returned.
Yes.
Well, everyone, there's good news and bad news. Good news, we found the Spellforge. Bad
Did
news,
you
we
destroy
found...
it?
Oh, heavens no.
Oh, I mean, guess you're improving.
I don't know what you're talking about. Anyway, there's a spectator in there. Think of it like a beholder light, diet beholder, beholder 0.
I resemble that comment.
No, I'm sorry. We'll go with diet beholder then.
Can
So does
Zero
that mean we can't lock the
throw out
doors
some
and take a
ice
nap?
blocks?
I'm sorry, Leopard, you were coming in about the same time as she was talking.
Go ahead, Zero.
I apologize. I was just saying, does that mean we can't lock the doors and take a nap?
I think actually we would be able to do that. I assume that I know that a spectator just kind of guards what it's spectating.
Correct. With the limited knowledge you have on it, you do know that it is sometimes used as a guardian. Since it is extraplanar, they are technically ageless. But something else that you will know is that usually there are rules whenever it comes to summoning. Usually specific terms that they're having to adhere to be able to either to complete their job. Well, actually, that's probably a better way of putting it. Is that there are specific rules that they have to adhere to complete their job. And if that job is never completed or those rules are never done, then it never gets to go home.
My mouth is moving and I'm just saying all of those words that you're saying.
Amazing mimicry.
It's like that. It's like the picture of the cat that just like opens its mouth really wide. That's all I'm doing. I was like, bah, 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 bah.
There was some being in the extraplanar that was compelling you to speak, Zeno. It was amazing to behold, pun intended.
Ha! Oh, Wall, I appreciate that.
Yeah, I think we missed it because Zeno last level up picked up proficiency in DM speak.
The language that none of us truly understand.
All right. So, you guys have the ability to take your rest, unless you're talking further on how you want to deal with it.
Short rest or long rest?
Long rest, I think, is what
Definitely
you guys.
long rest.
Okay. You guys go ahead and complete a long rest. I'm not going to have you do watches. There's nothing else that you guys encounter over the course of your rest. Everybody is back up to full health. You guys have back all your spell slots, and you get back half of your hit dice that you'd spent.
Half of spent or half of total?
Sorry, half of total.
Okay, yeah, I always forget which one it is.
And then Zeno, you are officially attuned to those gauntlets, so you have now moved your strength to 19.
Very cool, very sexy. Well, we have a thing to deal with if we want access to the Spellforge, which I do believe is still part of our contract, Zoe.
I believe so, yes.
Some probably fine line. So how do we deal with this?
Good question.
Although I am not in the contract, I will offer my assistance.
Well, we can take Wall on that assistance.
Gundren, can we write everyone else in? Is that a thing we could do instead of Barry?
Sure. I mean, I assumed that anybody in your party, I mean, to be completely honest, like I said, I didn't even think you were going to get me. So, anybody here, you guys are part of the contract. I think that was what was originally written.
Oh, okay. For sure did not know that.
Wonderful.
But fill in the
Touche.
details of, like,
Fair enough.
names and who you are later.
Did the stream drop?
Yeah, my entire mic just went out, so.
The stream is still live.
Okay, good.
Yep, we're good.
It's just, yeah.
There we go.
Okey-dokey.
pull out
sorry,
my handy dandy so you wanna fight a beholder book.
just a real quick question before we go into the mini beholder. When Zero gets her spells and stuff, you know how she does the thing with her axe. Did anything
Yes.
happen with her axe before bed or whatever?
No, enough time hasn't passed yet.
Okay. She will be doing her thing every night, just so you know.
And I assume you're still giving Zarelda advantage
Yes.
on initiative.
Yes. Every time she gets a chance to, as long as she's nearby.
Very supportive.
Yes. And she'll be taking her bird for a while.
Now, is this the emotional, emotional support bird or the collective one?
Probably both, because she has to tell her bird all about actually dying.
Okay.
All right.
But the other one will be available for spell deposits.
Okay.
Has anyone here ever encountered a spectator? Zeno, it sounds like you have.
It's more that I know about them just because of my profession. I can't say that I've ever fought. I mean, maybe in the history that I have totally written for myself, I fought one or something or other. But in recent times, that would be useful. No.
Well, I volunteer to charge into the room and take
Go.
its gaze from everyone else.
Before
I
you
am
do
right
that,
behind the wall.
question: if this thing serves as the guardian of the forge, and we're here to what help fix the forge, would it not be better just to leave it be?
Well, the forge cannot be used by Gundren with the spectator there.
I mean, potentially it can, but the problem is we don't know the terms of which it binds it here. So we're kind of having to, I don't know, guess. And with anything that has a giant eye laser that can do horrible, horrible things to you, it's really not a good idea to guess.
Not to mention all the charred corpses littered around the room.
Oh yeah, there were a bunch of those, weren't there?
Well, that'd be useful information.
There was a bunch of charred corpses everywhere. It was awful. Gondred, you all really did. Why do you have any reason why there's that thing there?
I mean, I know that whenever the forge was back in use, that there was a pact between the dwarves and the humans, and even the elves, in regards to being able to use the spellforge as a resource. My guess is probably one of the spellcasters had put it there to use as a guardian back in the day.
Is there by chance your lineage may have enacted this pact with the spectator that you might be able to just walk into this room and use the spell forge at your leisure, but the rest of us can't go anywhere near it?
I mean, is it possible? Maybe. Am I going to take that shot and being in line of sight with the death lasers that you're describing? No, I will not. I will happily let you guys, as the professionals, go ahead and take that shot, and then I will go ahead and work with the repairs of it later.
Fair enough.
Not meaning to sound, like throw you at the wolves, but you guys are obviously equipped better at dealing with floating monstrosities than I am.
Oh, there was an armored dwarf corpse at the entranceway. Maybe we can armor you up and
Don't Don't get me wrong.
I am just jesting, my lad.
Oh, don't get me wrong, lad. You give me an
Stop
axe, and
throwing
I will give you a run for your money.
I have a spare longsword if that would suffice. I don't have an axe. I understand that it doesn't hold the same heft that you would be familiar with, but it is a weapon.
I mean, I'll happily hold on to it for you. This way, I got something that sticks should that Fang woman show back up. But other than that, no, I feel like this is way more in your wheelhouse than mine.
Fair enough. Fair enough, tiny dwarf. And I will actually give him the longsword just so that he has something to defend himself with.
All right, he'll happily take it.
Did question, Mr. DM, did we notice these doorways that led into the same room?
I would say that you noticed the one on the outside, not the other.
Okay.
Second question. Were there any weapon racks we would have seen on the way here?
In the rooms you had gone in, no. There were weapons scattered about, as well too as of course like the bugbear, and all of them had their own stuff. But
so we might be able to find an axe that he's more comfortable with, potentially.
probably, but keep in mind too, like anything that's going to be, like any of the older weaponry that's here, it's been a couple hundred years, and all the wood's rotted through, stuff like that. So a lot of that stuff is not going to be useful.
And I get the feeling he's not going to help us in combat regardless of what we give him.
Just probably easier for him to defend himself if he's more familiar with the weapon.
And don't get me wrong, I can use a sword just fine. I prefer an axe or a hammer. I find that those are more noble weapons. Swords are a little bit, as for humans. I could use it just fine. It's a weapon. I can stab things with it.
Actually, wouldn't my longsword be about his height?
I mean,
so for him,
he's
it's
about...
like a greatsword?
No, he's not considered a small. Dwarf is considered a medium creature. So he's... I mean, Zerelda is tall for a halfling, so he's only a couple inches taller than her. But dwarves are also a lot thicker, sturdier builds. So they're able to utilize stuff that humans are able to for the most part.
They got that beef.
They do. They're thick.
Okay.
Low center of gravity.
Yes.
So, none of us know how to deal with this. And unless we want to be here until midnight, I would say we probably have me charge in.
So this creature is ethereal?
It's not ethereal, no.
Okay.
It's extraplanar.
Oh, extraplanar. Gotcha.
As you guys are discussing this, Gundren goes, well, keep in mind, I mean, I don't know if it's useful. But from what you're saying that these things have to have like a reason for being here. That was part of the thing that I had mentioned from the map. Said that it is supposed to protect everything it can see.
Okay. And
I don't know if that helps anything. That I don't know.
If I walk into the room, it can see me. Shouldn't it protect me?
I don't think that you'd be falling into that category, lad. See all of the burned corpses you described.
Well, I might have an idea.
Zero is gonna stealth out of there.
Okay.
Where's Zero?
Do we all roll perception?
That is not a good roll. 17.
All right. Anybody that's paying attention?
Natural 20, baby.
I'm gonna try to see if I can look her up.
Yeah.
Freaking
hell.
Zeno is just homing in.
17 plus 3 for me.
All right.
And where the fuck do you think you're going?
Well, yeah, the battle master is trying to come up with a strategy.
I see nothing.
Zerelda, are you still there, hon?
You're muted if you are.
Okay, I'm not hearing her at all. I'll message her real quick, but go ahead.
Okay.
Zeno, did you bring it to my attention that Zero was trying to wander off?
Oh, of course I did.
I will gently grab Zero by the shoulder and bring her to my side and just rest my hand on her shoulder to make sure that she doesn't wander off.
If it can't see me, it can't hurt me.
Yes, and if it can't see anything, it can't hurt anyone.
I have skills. Certain skills that could cause it to, I don't know, sleep or not see me or not see you guys or just not be a threat. I'll take care of it.
I'm listening. What are these skills, Zero?
I mean, I can make it go to sleep. I could do other things if my program listens. Hold on. Glitching. I can make it think of things and not be able to attack.
This is a creature that has laid waste to many a corpse outside of the Spellforge. Do you really want to take chances that you might be able to make it sleep or think of other things?
I mean, like things that it can't do anything. It's called id insinuation. I'll pull it up.
Because preventing its sight, I'm on board with.
I also have stabby things.
I have a healthy compromise I'm willing to suggest to you, Zero. There was another door attached to that same kind of room. I don't know if it leads into the chamber or not, but I would not be opposed to having you go through there and trying to stealth your way. And if there is another door leading into the Spellforge room.
Let me get back to the map here.
I will begrudgingly
You mean this one?
concede.
Why can't I do things? Oh,
Yes.
And to appease the wall, on the condition of if it looks at you, you get the hell out of Dodge. Are we clear?
So I can sneak in the side door that I don't know about that you guys are describing to me.
Yes, and if it leads into the chamber, then you're Gucci gang. But
And I can attack it.
yes, however, if you are looked at, I want you to leave immediately.
Okay.
All right.
Am I going alone?
Yes, you're the sneaky one.
Now, if I hear any commotion in the room, her being attacked, I will barge in and take its gaze. Is that clear? And I'll ask the rest of the party.
Rest of the party.
Yeah, the rest of the party. Asking the rest of the party. Like, if I have my ear to the door and I hear Zero not having a good time, I'm barging in there and I'm taking its gaze.
I approve.
That's fine with me.
I know your little heart always wants to keep her safe, so make sure you do that.
Well, she's the only one throwing herself in danger.
Yes, and I I wish I could, but I would not last, and I know that you are willing to do so.
All right. So
And
the
then the warlocks behind me with their spells,
the wiggly fingers.
taking out the spectator.
Before we
Gundren.
leave, though, I turn to Gundren, and I don't even have it anymore. Wow. I ask him if he's ever heard of a girl named Vesper DeRollo, and does he know anything about her?
I mean, I know of the Dorolos, but I haven't had any interaction with them before. I just know of them, as being a part of Waitstone.
I was gonna show him the. I don't have the spell anymore.
Yeah, so you go to hold out your hand like you had done, and then you concentrate, and you're like, I'm holding my hand out for nothing. And he looks at you a little odd, but just kind of responds with, like, I know of them, but I don't actually know them.
Okay, and give him some more pocket bacon. I'm like, let's do this.
All right. And I am assuming that I'm going to sit tight here, or am I coming with you?
I like him, but
You're
we can put
coming
him
with
in there
us.
to avert the
Yeah.
gaze.
All right.
He's
So
coming with us, but he's staying back because I don't want that drow girl taking him anywhere.
all right. Well, I think it's time that we move out. All right. You guys all kind of gather up. You head across your way, and we get over to the other side.
As I pass by that area, I would just ask about the passive because I wouldn't know anything.
Wait, I'm sorry. Repeat that.
The above table question about the passive perception.
I may have completely missed that question. I don't remember what you're talking about.
The question that we had on break, I said my passive is 17 if you want to handle that because I don't know anything about it.
Oh, yeah. I got you. I'm gonna say no for right now.
Okay, that's fair.
All right.
Do you want me to reroll my stealth?
Yes. New stealth check, please.
Maybe this time it won't suck.
I have
That's
my
much
ear
better.
to the door.
28.
Not a problem. You are as quiet as you think you could be. The door
That's
is
the
locked.
sentence. Okay. I will unlock that. That's under sleight of hand for me, right?
Yeah, just use the same number as that.
24.
Okay. Pop. Easy enough.
All
So,
right. I will.
as you step into this room, this seems to be a storeroom. There just seems to be general supplies here for the use of a forge. So you do see like ingots of metal, and everything's kind of dusted over and cobwebbed. Give me a. Actually, you have a passive of 17. So you do notice there is an armor stand in there that has kind of like a sheet thrown over it that seems to have something underneath it. As well too as you see a small wooden, like kind of like a flat chest, probably about maybe 2 by 2 in diameter, maybe a little bit bigger, that's slid into a shelf.
I didn't want to interrupt you, but before I go completely in, I'm going to share my eyes with them just in case it gets dark. I have 300 feet of dark vision that I share for 1 hour.
You can share with one person.
No, I believe it's the party. Let me double check that.
It might be like a proficiency or level bonus based thing.
Double check real quick.
With
And while we're all
Boxes,
still gathered, can I use my shield to give
With-
temp health to everyone?
Yeah, you can do that.
within 300 feet of you, treat dim light as bright, darkness as dim, which you can grant your allies for 1 hour as an action 1 time per day.
Number of creatures equal to your wisdom mod.
Wisdom mod is 4.
Okay, so you can share that for the party, including yourself.
Who does not have dark vision?
I'm a tiefling.
Zerelda and Scruffles, I know. And Zoe, too, I think.
Yes,
Yeah,
I
one
am not in there.
Alright, so whoever. So it would be myself, Zerelda.
What about Gundren?
Gundren's got dark vision.
Okay, so Zerelda,
He's a dwarf.
Zoe, and Sergeant Scruffles has the extended dark vision along with myself.
And everybody gets 6 temp HP.
Nice.
Okay.
I will take that now.
Hey.
Please tell me you didn't slam down your thing for that.
No, I did not add that flavor this time. I just
Alright,
held
so-
it aloft.
So I see the armor.
Correct. So you do notice a suit of armor, you assume, underneath a sheet, as well too as there is a flat case that's slid into a shelf.
Okay. I'm going to. Does it look like it's moving, or it just looks solid and safe?
And it all looks solid. You're not seeing any movement on it.
Okay. I will quietly check the door. Going to the next room.
Okay. We'll maintain the same stealth. Go ahead and do your thieves' tools.
All right. 16.
Okay. You are able to unlock the door with just only. So, kind of crack open the door, and you do see the spectator. Giving a general description of the thing. So green, kind of spiky on like its top with a singular wide mouth and a large central eye, as well too as 4 eye stalks, 2 on each side, that are fairly long and independently move with each other as it kind of scans and looks around the room. It does not seem to have noticed you yet, though.
Okay. I'm gonna cast Aid Insinuation on it. I get
Okay.
that once a day for free, so I'm gonna try that. Do you want me to read it to you?
I know it's a saving throw. What's your DC and what's the save?
It is a. Bear with me for 1 second while I read it myself.
I think it's an intelligence save.
Wisdom actually, and my DC is 15.
It does make it.
All right, so does that mean success? Hold on. It would take 1d12. Wait. Unleash a torrent of conflicting desires in the mind of one creature you can see within range, impairing its ability to make decisions. The target must succeed on a wisdom saving throw or be incapacitated. At the end of each turn, it takes 1d12, and it can make another save. On a success, the spell ends. So, does it make the save after?
No, it makes a save at the time of. Let me
Okay.
take a look at it, see if I'm still taking damage from it. Back in just a second, guys.
Mhm.
Oh, that spell is not in my book.
I could send it to you.
No,
Yeah, it's
I'll have it here in a second. It's
Unearthed
UA.
Arcana.
It's
Yeah.
yeah, it's a UA spell.
So it takes no damage then.
Okay.
Okay.
And then I would get that's action. Can I throw for a bonus action? Just don't add dex.
No. Remember, you can't do a spell attack and then an attack.
Okay. So then I would just duck behind the door.
All right.
I could do a hide, right?
You can. So I'm actually going to have you do initiative against this thing. Just to see if it gets a chance to do an attack before you dip. Yeah. There we go. Before you dip out of the way.
Okay. 20.
Yeah, you're able to get out of the way before it does. On
So then
both
I'll
sides
do a
of the
bonus action. Hide.
as on both sides of the door, though, you do hear this really weird, like, sound as two of the eye rays blast against the door that's Zero, you duck behind. The door takes the impact and kind of rattles, but you are able to get out of the way.
Okay.
You guys don't hear
Well.
anything else.
Well, that was a sound. I would, again, in character, rush into the room.
All right. You fling open the doors and you head in. Go ahead and have everybody do initiatives.
Does mine carry or should I reroll?
No, you'll re-roll in this case. So hold your numbers for me, please.
Not great. Not great.
All right. Zeno.
A 10.
Wall.
Nat 2022.
Nice.
Ooh. Balls.
Zoe and Scruffles.
And we were doing initiative, right?
Yes.
Okay. Where's Sergeant Scruffles? I had it. Well, I thought I re-rolled his, but I did not. His is 11, and my initiative is. Am I unmuted? Yeah. My
Yeah, we
initiative
hear you.
is 23 with a natural 20.
Nice. Leopard.
12.
Okay. And 0.
17.
All right, and Zerelda, are you able to hear us? I haven't gotten anything from her. Wonder if she fell asleep.
That's possible.
It'd be on brand.
Do you want to still roll for her just in case, or not, or just let her roll whenever?
I'll go ahead and roll for her, and then whenever she joins, then we'll do that. Oh, you probably shouldn't have rolled
she
for
gets
her.
advantage.
Oh, good.
She gets advantage.
Because I got a 1.
Well, I mean, she is asleep. The potentially. So
Yeah. All right. So Zoe, you are up, and then the wall is on deck.
Okay. I really don't want to touch this thing at all. How far am I from it? Because I know I'm on the outside.
I just kind of move the things around, but you can move to be within range of it.
Okay.
Essentially, it's within line of sight of the doorway.
Okay.
is the door open?
Yes, the wall flung the door was open.
Okay.
Okay.
Made a whole damn scene. What I'm gonna do first, I'm just gonna shoot like a blank arrow at it just to see what I'm working with. Nothing too dramatic right now.
Okay, go for it.
We'll use our beautiful, beautiful arrow. 23.
That definitely hits.
All right. And where is that? 1d8. 12.
Okay. Arrow goes through 6 into the green bony hide. It finds a nice purchase with a second shot.
Yeah, I'll take a second shot. Same thing.
Okay, nothing special on the arrow.
Correct. Nothing special on the arrow. This is purely just research.
All right.
Second shot. 14.
14 just hits.
Ooh, okay. 8.
Okay. The arrow flies through and hits one of the eye stalks close to the base as it kind of thrashes around a little bit from the impact.
Okay. And then I'll end my turn.
All right. The wall is next, and then goes the spectator.
Okay. Is there any way I could like get behind it?
Sure.
Without an attack of opportunity? Or like
Yes, so you're
would that
just moving
only-
in. You're just moving around its threat range. It won't get an attack of opportunity as long as you're staying adjacent to
Okay.
it.
Because in standard fashion, trying to have it look away from the party rather than at the party. So 14 just hits if I had to put a numerical value on that. Is there any way I could actually go for the stocks specifically with my
Yes,
attack?
it will have a higher armor class doing that.
Oh, it will. Okay.
Right, because you're
those
calling
are-
a specific shot.
Okay. I don't know the rules on that. Like, how much of a higher armor class, or like, is it double, or is it just find out?
Roll and find out.
Roll and find out. Okay. Well, I know that actually I don't know what shoots the lasers, but I do know that the riddle says all that it can see, so I am going for the eye stalks.
All right, go for it. Give me a swing.
Okay. Okay, 18 plus, what do I add to that? An 8, so 26.
That will hit.
Awesome. I forgot to do my branding smite. Well, too late now. Okay, so D8, 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 D6. Oh shit, where'd that go? 7 plus 6, 13. Where's that dice? 13.
Okay. You lay a pretty heavy amount of damage on one of the socks. It is still there, though. You don't sever all the way through, but you do leave a pretty heavy cut. Even though you have a nice hit on it, you could feel like the resistance, like how tough its hide is.
Okay. I'm going to try again for that stock.
Okay.
That's going to be a 20.
A
Dirty
20 will hit.
Awesome. 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 Okay. So another D8, D6. Okay. Well, oh, fudge. That's only going to be 10 damage.
Okay. Between the two swings, you do actually cleave off one of the stalks.
Fantastic.
So you go through, make the opening with the first swing, go through with the second, and you go through it enough where it just kind of rolls and flops and hits the ground.
Okay. Can I also taunt with that last attack?
Sure, go for it.
Okay, so that is a superiority die. That's a D8, right?
I believe so for your level.
Fantastic. Okay.
And what exactly does the taunt do?
You have to make a wisdom save or have disadvantage on attacks against others this round.
Okay, what's the saving throw? Like the number.
Wisdom. I have no idea. I'll have to look that up. And let.
I could look it up. What is it? Taunt what?
I should have it here in a second. Just a second.
Of course, I'm now thinking that it's absolutely useless because you're up next and no one else is in the room. But I guess the eyes can see through the door. I mean, I don't know. I just know what my sheet says. I'm sorry.
No, that's fine. No, you're fine. You're fine.
There's a lot of maneuvers, to be fair.
I mean, do we just want to bypass it and move on?
Which
Is it
one
just-
are you using?
Is it actually just called taunt?
Taunt. Yeah.
I'm not seeing that one here.
I don't think there's one called just taunt. There was something that it has a different name.
Okay.
Goading
Ignore
strike.
it. We'll come back.
Yeah, there we go.
Yeah, it's called goading attack. So
Okay. Well, this app says it's taunt. Sorry.
that's fine. I'm going to make a wisdom saving throw on a failed save. So let's assume.
Oh, maneuver save DC 8 plus proficiency plus strength or dex. So I said
Okay.
strength for you.
So
Yeah.
8 plus 3, so 11 plus your strength mod. That'd be a 15.
Yep.
It fails.
Sweet. Disadvantage on attacks to others this round. Ha ha.
All right.
Puny spectator.
And just, I don't know if I misheard. You did add your superior die to your attack?
That goes to the damage.
It was 8.
Yeah.
Yeah, it goes to the damage, which was
Yeah.
8.
Right.
Sorry,
Which I'm assuming each stock has its own damage. I could be wrong. But,
Correct, it does.
So it was useless because I already took off the stock without it. But I spit in its eye as my taunt.
All right. So I want Zoe and the wall to give me saving throws. For the wall, I need that to be Constitution. And Zoe needs to be Wisdom.
Wisdom? Oh, I think I'm pretty dumb, but we'll see.
Let me know when you want it.
While she's looking that up, go ahead and give me yours.
Okay, I'm good.
27.
Okay, you're fine. And then Zoe?
9.
9? Okay, so you do fail yours.
Yeah.
So the remaining eye stalks move around. The eye stalks don't require an attack roll, so the disadvantage doesn't do anything. So the wall, this beam comes and shoots at you, and you're able to bring the shield up quick enough to reflect the shot. Zoe, however, not expecting an eye laser, arcs right past everybody and hits you square in the chest. You are currently confused.
Damn it.
So, how that's defined is you cannot take a reaction until your next turn. On your turn, target cannot move and uses its action to make either a melee or a range attack against a randomly determined creature.
Great.
That is going to be all for its turn. So next is going to be Zero, and then Leopard.
Do I have line of sight?
When you open up the door, yes.
That means I would have to move. Shit.
And also, Mr. DM just did want to let you know it is 10 o'clock.
Understood. We should be finished with this relatively soon.
Okay.
All right, so I'll open the door and do I have to? I don't have to touch it for guiding bolt, right?
Correct. That's a ranged attack.
All right, so I will open the door for my next attack. Like, I'll do it now, leading up to my next attack, because I thought it was open. This time around, after opening it, I'll do guiding bolt, and then set it up, go back to where I am for my next round. Because I want to give it distance, but he has to be within my view.
Okay, so go ahead and make the attack roll with the guiding bolt.
So it just has to be d20 plus spell attack?
Yes.
Okay. So it would be a 20?
That'll hit.
Okay, and damage is d8, right?
I think for guiding bolt, I think it's like 2 or 3d8 actually.
All right, let me look that up right quick.
Importance of knowing your spells, people. 4d8.
Quick Google right here.
I'm sorry, 4d6.
46. Okay. I can't sneak attack a spell, right?
Correct, you cannot.
Okay. So here's 3, so that's 6, 10, 12. So that's 16 points damage.
All right. So it launches off its eye lasers. You open up the door and unleash this like purplish, almost dark energy comes firing off as it hits it with enough impact of where it's floating. It actually kind of shifts as its whole body starts to radiate this like purplish glow to it. The next melee or ranged attack or spell attack against it will have advantage.
And then I'll move back to where I was, but I want him to be within eyesight.
Okay. All right, Leopard.
Okay. So this thing now has spell effect on it.
It has a spell effect on it. It is missing one of its eye stalks as well.
Okay. So probably at this point it's a little late to just completely blind it.
Nothing's too late.
So I'm going to just hit it with Witch Bolt.
Okay, go for it.
At advantage. So 23.
Yeah, that'll hit. Probably what, 3d12, I think.
3d12. Yeah. Now the question is, like, I don't use tools much. Not too great. 21.
All right. How do you want to do this?
I don't believe. Just a nice quick zap to the eye.
All right.
Flashy.
So you release the witch bolt to it. Since its central eye is away from you, the bolt of electricity does hit the one of the eye stalks as it starts to chain through it. As it goes to the other side, arcs down through the other, and then burns it out through the big central eyes. You kind of watch it, the wall. You're watching it kind of vibrate and spark on the inside as it pops, and the thing just drops out of the air. All right.
I was expecting more of a fight.
Before I come back out, I'll check out that armor.
Okay. So
For the record, Zoe, I was going to target the eye stalk that targeted you. Just saying.
all right, so you go and pull the sheet off the suit of armor, and what's in front of you is this absolutely gorgeous suit of breastplate. The breastplate is kind of like this like brass bronze color, complete with a set of van bracers, a helmet as well, and the plate itself has this motif of two dragons that are fighting one another, almost in kind of like a yin-yang circle, one another. The pauldron up on the top has this open dragon's mouth on it, and everything kind of seems to fit that like dragon motif to it. Very well detailed and gorgeous suit.
I call Leopard in.
Okay. Any
As
reason?
he walks in, I do like this, like, ta-da for you armor.
I
Teenager
don't
going,
wear- I don't wear armor.
that's a problem. Put it on.
I
Ta-da.
I point towards the shadows swirling around my torso.
So it won't work.
Not, I assume not with enough effect. I can cast detect magic on it though.
All right. You casting detect magic will radiate magic on that. It will radiate magic in that chest that I mentioned earlier, the flat chest. And as you turn around, the spell forge itself, like that brazier of flame, is blindingly bright of each type of magic.
It's not too surprising.
Yes.
I will point out the chest that has the magic. Or was that the chest of the armor or a chest?
No, there was a separate chest that was.
Okay.
When I'm talking about a flat chest, I'm almost thinking of like almost like a briefcase.
Right. I wasn't sure if my brain just had a gap in it or not.
Yeah, you're all good.
Like the
Is it
briefcase from
full
Pulp
of
Fiction.
Yu-Gi-Oh cards?
No,
Art
because we
magician.
don't have Pot of Greed, and I can't draw more.
Trademark.
Yeah.
All right, somebody grabbing the chest.
Solve it.
I'm going to be
next
making
time.
sure the spectator's dead and cutting off eye stalks. So
It very much is dead.
Yeah.
Your shield is covered in eye goo currently.
I think you've got it.
Okay.
Zero's
Alright,
just in awe of the cool spell that she did. Because this is all new to her.
All right, so then Leopard, are you checking out the chest then? Okay.
Yeah.
So you slide it out from the shelf, and the chest
actually,
is
is it on the outside or inside the chest?
the detect magic is coming from inside the chest.
Okay. Can I still check for traps,
Yeah, absolutely.
even though I'm not proficient?
Yeah,
If you
that'll
need
just
my
be an
privileges,
investigation.
I could pop that lock if you need me.
Oh wait, I am proficient in investigation. 12.
Doesn't appear to be trapped.
Okay. I ask Zero to scooch back into the other room, and then I open.
Okay. So the chest itself, one thing that you will notice, a very nice like redwood chest, and emblazoned on it, at the very like in the center of it, is the symbol for the Tresson board. They have their seal on the top of it. When you go to open it up, you come to this like almost very like cushioned felt lined chest, and wrapped in a coil and still kind of glowing is a whip.
Interesting.
Whip has a metal handle to it, wrapped itself in leather, and the as you kind of look down the coil, you see small like silver studs running down it all the way to the very tip.
Okay. I'll close the chest and bring it to the group.
Okay.
Zero walks over to Zeno, and she's like, "Did you see that? It it was magic. It came out of my hand. It was black, and it was so cool. And then he was like glowing."
I did see it for all of 6 seconds that the thing got to live against us.
That was from the Raven Queen. She made that happen.
I believe it was also you making it happen. Don't knock yourself short.
Oh, Zeno has a heart.
I've always had a heart.
All these hands
Sometimes
could
has a
do
heart.
before, all they were good for was murder. Now they do magic. Whoa.
Zero, I'm going to tell you something that I've told you before. Your life is your own to make of it as you wish to do. So, if you want those hands of yours to be magic and helping and healing, then damn it, that's what they can do. Because you said it so.
You know, I've been thinking about that. And since I have you all here, I don't want an answer, but I want to tell you something. I'm not going to accept any answers until we get to Iman and I go and talk to the Temple of the Raven Queen. But are you all listening?
Yes.
Sure.
I need a new name. I'm no longer Zero. I never had a name besides Vesper, but that's not my name. I need to be named something special. So when I walk into that temple, I could claim it as my own. So think about it and help me choose a name that doesn't mean nothing, that means something special.
Oh, I've already got at least 3 or 4 lined up for you, dear.
13.
We could talk about them on the road to Iman.
That sounds fair. Gives us time to think it through.
All right. And the Spellforge secured. The last of its treasures in hand. And the cave cleared. I think this is a good place for us to hold off for the night.
Sounds like a plan, Stan.
I mean, I am still stabbing the spectator, wishing for more fight. But
You'll be stabbing him for a week. Some say the Wall of Zario was stabbing
Come
him
on.
to this day.
Zero takes pity on the wall not having a fight and asks if he would like to spar.
Oh, goodness. I would pay money for that one.
It'll be kind of like Arya and Brienne.
It'll be like David and Goliath, except the Lord is not on your side.
And that's whenever like shit starts to get real and she panics and hits him with inflict wounds.
The wall's just like, I feel no pain except for this pain.
All right. Well, thank you all for joining us. I apologize. Things went a little bit late. I wanted to finish things up for this dungeon. We will pick things back up here next Thursday just to kind of finish up some of the role play and go into town and then continue on from there. And now that the Lost Mines of Fendelver is largely closed, we're going to now start officially going into my homebrew stuff as we explore through Taldorei and go into other people's backstories and the story that I have set up for you guys.
And there's definitely not a drow rogue chasing after us.
Right. There is definitely not a drow rogue chasing after you guys. Nothing to be concerned with. You probably even forget about it.
Yeah.
And
Which is our guys now.
with the majority
she's
of
not always 30 feet behind us, just watching us planning.
and with
Because
half
we
of
don't
us
know.
having ADHD, like I have a full feeling that if she ever does come back, you're like, oh shit, I completely forgot about her. Because we legit forgot about her.
We find out that she's Zero's long lost mother.
Dun dun dun.
Wow,
Bro.
I thought you were a changeling.
It's a real bruh moment.
But as always, guys, thank you for joining me. To everybody who stuck through with us tonight, thank you for watching the show. And we'll see you guys next Thursday. And as always, welcome to my table.